What it is, what it do, what it is. It is your boy the Grizz coming at you with a new review. Today we are talking Dead Space Remake. And damn, did I love this game. I start off by saying that I'm not the biggest horror fan. So honestly, I do watch some horror movies, but they would fall in line with the slasher flick kind of things. I'm not used to the whole monster horror movies or even horror games, but Dead Space seemed to change that. This was the first horror game that I ever beat, and it seems like I might be getting a first for a lot. I beat my first JRPGs just a few years ago, and now my first horror game. So Dead Space Remake. Now, I played some of the first one, and I thought that was cool. It was a little too scary for me at the time, but now I sat there with that right in my face, and I said, I gotta knock down this obstacle, and I did. I rolled credits, and man, it was one of the greatest experiences I've ever had in video gaming, and for this to be the first game that I got in 2023, and finished, and rolled credits, and really enjoyed, yeah, bring on Dead Space 2 Remake, bring on Dead Space 3 Remake. And I understand that they changed certain narratives and certain things so they can make things flexible for the next two if possible, because I know a lot of people didn't really like Dead Space 2 and 3 as much as they did the first one, and hopefully they make it to be just as good, because this game was straight up fire. This is the review-ish thoughts here. One thing I just didn't like was that sometimes if you died around the time that there was a cutscene, there was no way to skip that cutscene. Other than that, the gameplay is fire. It's tight. The moment you get and you start moving with Isaacs and you in that suit, you feel the clunkiness and the heaviness and the weight of the suit. And at first, you're terrified. You're really just shaking because all you have is this plasma cutter. And then you get the assault rifle and the buzzsaw weapon and all kinds of other stuff. And then you have a full arsenal until you get a little too comfortable and you use up all your ammo. Now, why'd you do that? Now, you got to find ways to conserve your ammo. You got to sell some stuff in your inventory, everything except the weapons. Do I see myself using this weapon right away? Nah, probably not. And then also what I do like is that right before, if I go to like some type of boss encounter or a heavy encounter where a lot of things is chasing me, well, if I do like what I've learned to do is let me die, because I wasn't fully prepared, because you kind of go through your inventory and equip other weapons, and you don't want to do that in the heat of battle. You completely stop moving in the heat of battle, and I think that was necessary for you to bring terror. Everything from the soundtrack to the sounds and the whispers that you hear from the marker in Dead Space, it's all crazy thrilling. And let me tell you something. The developers themselves have said, don't play this with headphones. It's too terrifying. And I'm telling you this right now. Damn that. Play this with headphones. This game scared the shit out of me, and it was still worth the experience. I played it in the dark as well. I remember when I wouldn't even mess with horror games, but this game is a little bit more on the action side, and they were kind of friendly with the ammo. They never really left you messed up. Like, prime example, you get the ability with the magnetized glove, you get to pick up any random stuff and throw it at these enemies, and you have stasis to slow them down just in case you need to get your bullets together. But one thing I always would say, if you walk into a room where there are the dead bodies, and I'm talking human bodies, stomp them limbs off. I know this sounds crazy, but stomp them limbs off, because this game is basically a Metroidvania, and you kind of circle back around, and you end up in certain rooms. And I remember from jump, because I played some of this game back in the day, but I remember, stomp off the limbs always. And then I got a little too cocky, left the room, and then I came back to this room, and there was like 6 necromorphs waiting for me, and I had to use everything in my arsenal. I'm talking everything in my arsenal, from stasis to the magnet to all of my weapons. man, I'm telling you, I was sweating. One thing I really love is that this game will have your heart racing, even in the still moments where you know nothing is coming out of nowhere. In that moment, because maybe you're near a save station or something like that, nothing's gonna come bother you in that moment. But the sounds and the creepiness and the creaks of the Ishimura station and all of the sounds that you hear and all of them creeping through all of the vents, and especially with headphones, it's really engaging and it's definitely creeping you out. And there's a couple of parts where my heart just wouldn't stop racing because, you know, there's maybe a chase sequence here and there without spoilers. I really love this game. And this was an amazing remake. And I want to say it would be like a 9 out of 10 because it was a little predictable here and there, but nonetheless, a fantastic game. And I really hope that EA Motive continue to make more of these games. If they make the next Dead Space or they make something else, I'm really interested now. Dead Space is an amazing game. It's an amazing remake. And I highly recommend that you play it.
Bob says that shuttle's missing its singularity core. It can't get us home.
Wait. Maybe it can. If the Valor Singularity Core is okay, I could salvage it, install it on that shuttle, we're fucking out of here.